You should
Canceled.
actually should appoint him first. Appoint him first. Motion to appoint.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you should do that. Okay, that's acceptable.
Have a motion to appoint Jesse Beagle as village clerk. Second.
I'll second.
Hutton,
Yes.
Bershaw,
Yes.
McDonald,
Yes.
Leahy. Yes. And Pearsall, yes.
No, you need a resignation first.
Just minutes. I, Jessica Keeble,
I, Jessica Keeble,
have been appointed to the office of the Village of Albany
have been appointed to the office of the Village of Albany
in the County of Whiteside, aforesaid,
in the County of Whiteside,
aforesaid,
aforesaid,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the village clerk.
and I will faithfully discharge the duties of the village clerk,
Okay. Oh, I forgot, according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
MSA?
Okay. MSA would like to speak?
Sure.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for listening to me again. Some of you might be sick of hearing from me by now, but we're talking to me. So, thank you, Mayor, for letting me speak, and thank you to the council for letting me speak. A couple big items that we're hoping with the village right now. I'll go with the easy one first, the boat ramp. We did receive the full Army Corps permit for the boat ramp last week, I do believe. The village was copied on that email. If you guys do not have a record of it, let me know, we'll forward it to you. We did contact, our angel did contact the DNR to kind of figure out where we are status with their permit. They informed us that we're fourth in line on his desk for review. We kind of asked, what did that mean? Where did we start out at? Did we start out at 50th in line? Did we start out at 5th in line? He wouldn't tell us, he wouldn't give us any update as to how long it would be. And the EPA, in true EPA fashion, is still letting us rainfall. So we will continue to bug. But that's where we are with the boat ramp, still cautiously optimistic that we'll have full permits here in the summer so we can get started construction in the fall. And hopefully be ready for full boating season next year. Fingers crossed. What's that?
On the waste treatment plant?
That's what I was going with next.
Okay, all you need is a signature, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I can go through a full accounting of where we were up to this point, if you would like. If you've heard all this before and don't want me to talk anymore, just tell me to stop and I will go ahead and stop.
I think just a few of us weren't here,
Yeah.
and the new board, so we
Yeah.
didn't hear, so if you just kind of want to
Yeah,
recap.
of course. Going back, say about 10 years, we did an operations need review for that treatment plant in 2015. That needs review outlined a number of different things that should be upgraded. There's really no good record as to what was done and what wasn't done from that review. But one of the conclusions of that report, which is right here, was that this plant had about a 10 years of life left. Well, that was 10 years ago, so now here we are. We met with Mike and the previous mayor and kind of walked through the treatment plant back in February, I do believe that was. And kind of saw the conditions of the plant and just kind of get at least a visual of it on what it would take to move forward with anything. It's pretty obvious based on this report and walking through it that there are significant upgrades that either need to be made to that or a new treatment plant or another option. Obviously that's a very expensive option, but there is funding available for the village through the state for these improvements. The likely source of that funding is going to be a low interest loan from the EPA, from the state revolving fund. There is a very good possibility, and I can't guarantee you, I can't even speculate as to how much it would be, but there's a good chance that Albany would qualify for a fairly significant portion of that low interest loan to be forgiven. I can't answer how much that would be or anything else, but I know you guys did water improvements not that long ago, kind of the same fund, and you guys got a fairly significant forgiveness on that loan as well. I would expect it to be somewhat similar, but it's the state, so who really knows for sure. The first step in applying for that funding is to do a project plan. It's essentially a preliminary engineering report for your wastewater system. What we want to do with that project plan, number one, is obviously include the wastewater treatment plant in that, because we all know that that's one of your biggest concerns right now. But the idea is to get as much in the way of any wastewater improvements that you might need in the near future, whether it be lift stations, underground piping, or anything else, into that project plan. Because everything that's in this project plan, once that project plan gets reviewed by the EPA and approved by the EPA, that's when it opens up funding for anything in that project plan for you from the EPA, from the state revolving fund. So the first step is creating this project plan that will address all things wastewater in the village of Albany. We sat down with Mike back in February and kind of went through a couple more items with the wastewater system that would want to be addressed in the next 5 to 10 years or so. This project plan is what I gave the village a contract for back in February, early March. The city council did approve that on March 3rd. There were a couple questions that the previous mayor had on the language and everything, and I addressed all of his comments. Our system sometimes doesn't do a good job of changing states that we're working in, so I had Wisconsin instead of Illinois. I got all that fixed. When Jerry and I finally sat down to meet, once we both had found a good day to meet, it was towards the end of March, early April was coming along with this new election. He wanted to hold off, just sign it, just to make sure that everybody on the new village board was on board with this. So that's kind of where we stand at this point. Like I said, the contract was approved by the city council in early March. Just needs a signature for us to keep moving forward with it. And honestly, we started moving forward with it when you guys approved it back in March, just assuming that we'd be good to go. Once we didn't get a signature, we kind of pumped the brakes on it a little bit. So we started some work on it already.
Were there any other fees that will come with that?
To getting the project plan approved? No. This is what we gave you was a lump sum fee. That would include any reimbursable expenses. We're not going to charge you 12 cents a copy or anything on top of that. Everything's included in this lump sum fee.
Anybody else got any questions?
No, you pretty much went through this all a couple months
I
ago.
have a question, if you don't mind. Does the project plan then serve as our right to continue to operate the sewer treatment plant? Since, you said that we were certified for 10 years, so 2025.
Wasn't necessarily a certification. This was just our inspection back in 2015 on what we thought the lifespan of the plant would be. You already have an IEPA and BDS permit to operate that plant as it is now. I'm not sure, Mike, when your permit expires, but yeah, it's a pretty standard procedure to get them renewed and everything.
Anyone else?
I think we need to go with it. We already did all the legwork for it, me and Jason, that our sewer plant should have been fixed a while back, and it's on its last leg. It really is. I think it's a vital part of our our system here, and I strongly agree that we need to sign that and get the ball rolling, and try to get that to, what was it, 3 years from basically the start of the whole process?
Yeah, the idea is, just to kind of outline the timeline a little bit more, is once we get started on this project plan, it's a big thick report that gets submitted to EPA. Get that submitted in the summer, and then a little bit of back and forth with the EPA to get that approved by the EPA late this year over the winter. We do need to be in and approved, and then after that, funding applied for by, I believe it's the end of February next year. I could be wrong, it's in March. It's early next year is when we want to be in for funding to release our funding for next summer to then start full construction documents on what's going to be constructed, send out for bids, construction, well, the whole 9 yards.
And that total bid was 38.5, correct?
38.5 for this project plan,
For this
yes.
project, and that is, we get reimbursed with that after the project, correct?
Yes, while you do have to front this money to do the study, once you do get this preliminary plan approved and funding applied for, the fee to do this project plan will be rolled into that funding. At that point, you will get a reimbursement for this project plan, and it'll be rolled into the funding. Whatever portion is forgiven, I can't guarantee anything right now. But they do want you to front the money. They don't want to hand out money for people that are going to go halfway through the study and then walk away. They want to make sure you're going to do something with this plan.
Have you talked to him about the street,
The street.
hiring MSA?
I was gonna have him stay up there, and I was gonna.
Okay. I just wanted
I
to
know
do
it's
it so
a-
we didn't.
I know it's under Aaron's
Yeah.
thing. I talked to Aaron this morning, so I'm gonna kind of be on his behalf on that.
I have a question with that sewer plant.
Yeah.
Is there anything from the study that they did like 10 years ago or so
Mhm.
that you can glean off of that?
Yeah, I mean, we're going to build on previous knowledge, that's for sure. I mean,
Because otherwise that money all went to waste.
exactly. We're going to, I mean, yes, I mean, that's the background we start with, for sure. The recommendations that were done 10 years ago, there's a lot that's been done in sewer plant technology since that point.
Yeah.
So it can't be just a copy and paste,
No,
otherwise,
no.
otherwise it would be a lot cheaper plan. But yeah, it's gonna look at a lot of different, it's gonna look at what it would take to rehab the plant that's there now, rather than building new. And compare that cost to constructing a new plant. Not only construction costs, but operational costs. It's even gonna look what happens if you don't build a plant and pump it somewhere else. I don't know how realistic that's gonna be, but all these options is what makes this report what it is. I mean, making sure the EPA wants to know that we've looked at all the options and choose a plan forward that's best for the village, for the state, and for your residents.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So part of that project plan, does that include the surveys? Are the surveys rolled into there, or?
I don't think there's gonna be any surveys required for the project plan.
Okay.
We have, we'll have the plans of the plan as it exists now and that kind of thing. We're not gonna be doing any construction documents or any construction drawings for this. This is just a big report, so survey shouldn't be needed. I assume you're talking land surveys, like
Well, like an environmental survey?
environmental surveys are included, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't quite understand your question, but yes, in order to approve, for the EPA to approve this project plan, we do have to go through all the environmental surveys. You gotta get sign off from endangered species, from historic preservation, all that kind of stuff.
Because that can take, like 6 months worth of
That's-
time, right?
Yeah, that's why you might need to get started right away.
Yep.
Any more questions on the sewer?
Have a motion by Robert Bradshaw, make motion for Jack President to sign and move forward this sewer treatment plant. Second?
Second.
McDonald,
Yes.
Hutton,
Yes.
Liddy,
Yes.
Dose is absent, Pearsall,
Yes.
Bradshaw,
Yes.
motion carries.
Okay, so stay up there, Jason.
one more, I do have printouts of that contract with your name as village president now. I can leave that with you to sign. I've emailed it to you as well. Either one's fine with me, so.
I'll sign it.
Okay.
Okay, another thing, a lot of our streets need repaired here in town. After doing a bunch of legwork and research on how to spend our NFP funding, we have a RBI fund that we have $60,000 in that needs to be used up by July 6th of this year. Jason's been a big help to me. He's actually been my lifeline answering all my questions. So come to find out, for this type of project that we're doing, it would be an overlay, a 2-inch overlay on certain sections of the town that me and we went around and seen the worst places in town and kind of got quotes for them. So come to find out, we have to hire a consultant with a PE seal to go on with our MFT funding and RBI money into this project. Jason's been helping me with that. He's probably got a lot more than what I know. But we have to hire a consultant to help us with this project. Otherwise we can't get any roads done, basically, is what my knowledge is. Is that correct, Jason?
Yeah, I mean, you can use your RBI fund, you can use your MFT fund for maintenance work around town, as long as a certain project is not worth more than $25,000. You do not need any sort of professional engineer's signature or anything like that. Once you start doing projects that are in the above $25,000, essentially, I mean, 6 figures and up, I mean, a full length of street resurfacing or repairs or new sidewalks or ADA ramps around town, that kind of thing. Once you're doing something more than maintenance and more than $25,000, you need to have an engineer's signature on it, and that involves plans, specs, bids. What kind of triggers all that is anything more than $25,000, you need to bid it. Well, if you're going to bid something out, the state wants to approve that bid. For the state to approve the bid, they need to approve plans. They need to approve plans that are prepared by a professional engineer, and that's where we would have to come in. I think in the recent past, from what I could gather from the state when I talked to them last week, is that you guys have been doing $25,000 just maintenance projects around town, which is completely fine. I mean, it's a completely valid use of your MFT funds.
But you can't stack 4 projects.
You can't say I'm going to do this $20,000 project, this $15,000 project, this $20,000 project, and
And
stack
they're all
it that way.
basically the same.
Right.
I tried.
But can you get this?
And believe me, that's what I tell the villages to try first, is try that and see if they'll buy it. But, because, I mean, once you do start adding engineering in all the processes that have to go into the engineering to get IDOT approval for a lot of these funds, it does take away from your MFT money a little bit, because now you're spending money on engineering rather than the full construction, and I get that. I mean, it's not an ideal world, for sure. I mean, depending on the size of the project, I mean, the engineering can be 5%, 7%, 8%, 10% of the project, just depending on what the project cost is or what the type of project is.
But you said this needs to be done by July?
Well, no, if we hire as a consultant, I believe, this RBI funding has to be used by July 6th. We can put that,
You have to apply for it by July, right?
No.
So after Mike and Alderman Mendoza talked to the state a little bit about this, I got on an email chain with him a little bit myself. The problem, I mean, you have, what is it? You got $60,000 in RBI funds, give or take?
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's easy to use $25,000 of that because you can use it in maintenance and be fine. But anything above that, now all of a sudden you're gonna have to get engineering for. To use that $60,000 by July, to include the whole process of engineering, approval, bid, approval, and construction is not feasible.
Nope.
What they did say they would allow us to do, or would allow Albany to do, is the funds that you apply to use MFT for in 2021, 22, and 24, you can pick whatever you want to out of there. The village village had applied for that and got approval to use those as MFT funds. However, I don't believe the village ever submitted the actual costs after those projects were done, or after that maintenance was done. What was submitted according to the state was your estimate and your resolution to use those funds that the village board approved. But then there's another step that has to be done after that, once the project is closed out, says the actual funds were this. And what they're allowing Albany to do is to go back and close those out, but to close those out as RBI funds instead of MFT funds. So you can use your RBI money for that and free up some more MFT funds for that.
So basically, we don't lose the 60 grand.
So you
We
wouldn't
can
lose
put
it.
that back prior. We can't use that for any upcoming road work, but we didn't lose out on 60 grand. We're going back a couple of years and using that as our.
Like a reimbursement.
Money that you had, that Albany had, assume you're gonna use MFT money for, they're gonna allow you to use the RBI money for, because the RBI money is supposed to expire in July. Whereas MFT money never expires, you can collect as much of that as you want to before you spend it.
And you have that contact for me?
Yeah, I can make it for you. Yeah.
Another grant or whatever, engineering thing you guys did prior was the streetscape that never
Yeah.
got anything done either. Is some of that got streets and sidewalks and stuff you can glean off that too?
Yeah, we could look back to that to figure out some projects.
So you have a copy of it, we can't find ours.
I'm sure.
What
I
year?
don't have it with me, and I'm sure we have it somewhere. It's just-
What was it,
Oh, easy,
21,
this would be
22, and 24, was it?
Yeah.
Those were the MFT projects that,
They knew that we were.
IDOT knew that you guys submitted for, but never closed out.
All right, so
When
we're
was
gonna
this?
close those out with our RBI
Yeah, you
fund.
can
Oh,
close those
what's on
out,
the
but call them
picture?
RBI funds
I
instead of
don't-
MFT
Right,
funds.
right.
It's probably within the last 10. So I'm hoping, I mean, if 84 didn't change, the
No.
sidewalks didn't
Right.
change. But the pictures we have were pretty lights and stuff like that. But we can't find the verbiage anywhere.
Okay. Yeah, I'll see if I can find it.
Okay,
I mean, I'm sure I'll be able to find it too. I don't know if I'll be able to find it in 5 minutes or
no,
5 days.
it's okay, we can't find it at all.
All right.
So I would like to hire MSA as a consultant to help us through this process, I guess I'd be saying. And then Jason will teach me really well how it's done. And then maybe we won't need Jason in the future. You're my lifeline, I talk to you about 3 times a week.
Do we have a price or?
No, he told me about this about 2 hours ago, so I don't know.
Okay.
We can do this however you guys want to, I guess. We can do for a lot of municipalities, we'll do a general engineering contract. And we can set that amount, whatever you guys want to set it for, and use it until whatever I don't recall what your guys' fiscal year end is.
April 5 days ago.
April and May.
Okay, so we can use it for the next 12 months. We'll just call it the fiscal year 25, 26 general engineering. And we can set whatever amount you guys want to on it. We would bill you on an hourly basis, obviously only the hours that we would spend. If it's required or needed or wanted, which I do for most of my municipalities, is when we do send you an invoice, I'll give you an accounting of 15 minutes by 15 minutes, what we're billing you for and what we're billing you for it. We can set it up that way. We can set up just a one-time thing here for this. I'm up for anything really. I didn't have time to prepare much for it because Mike told me about it this afternoon. So. It's completely up to you. I don't want to pressure you into doing something you don't want to do or what you do want to do. It's completely up to you. I mean, there are times a lot of times we're working, we do a general engineering contract. So if he calls and he needs something, it doesn't have to go through council approval to get something done and that kind of thing. But if you're not comfortable doing that, I don't want to pressure you.
I just would have no idea what all you need done and.
Well, I wish Aaron was here. He has, I think he has all the paperwork that I have. There were 7 sections in town that we looked at. A lot of intersections, a section up in Riverview Lime, that big intersection, and then a spot in Riverview, around the big circle. There's 3 houses there and everything's chipped up really good. For everything, I got one quote, and that was when I was trying to get it within the under 25 each one. So I added all those together, and that was gonna be, I think, $107,500 to do this project that me and Aaron had been trying to do. So I was trying to break that up in increments, but we can't do that. So it would be that's just one quote. But yeah, it was like $107,500 for all those replacement of the roads, and those were just 2-inch overlays. Those weren't tearing up the road, grinding it up, laying new rock. Not the right way to do it. This is just a layover.
What do they do about the sewer grades?
I'll have to order extensions and risers and all sorts of stuff for
Yeah.
that.
Because they're already getting kind of down there.
Yeah, that's what kind of adds up on some of these overlay projects. is, I mean, it's one thing to have somebody come in and overlay 2 inches of asphalt and call it good, but then, like you said, there's.
Yeah, there's like a dip where the,
Right, and then if there's parking along the street, then all of a sudden you have a 2-inch drop off along that, and now you gotta bring in stone to fill that back in. If you're doing an overlay project on a street that has sidewalks, you have to bring the sidewalks and crosswalks up to ADA requirements. Even if it's just an overlay, a 2-inch overlay, you're going through an intersection, you're going along a street with a sidewalk, those ramps have to be brought up to code. Slopes, the truncated warning strips, everything.
See, and that's where the engineer would be a big role in this.
Aaron called me tonight and asked me if we could just give Jack the power to act for the engineering.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's where you want to go with
Yeah,
this,
that's
or?
basically where I'm going. We need to hire a consultant in this, and then that comes with the engineering and all that, correct?
Yeah, and again, we could do it just a one-off, like with just this paperwork, and do another one when we come up with a project, and if you have a water main question, we can do it for that, or we can do a general engineering that would cover anything that Mike would need, or anybody else would need, that would cover any street improvements, any water main issues, sewer issues, or whatever, that you wouldn't have to go through council to get it approved for us to act again. But if you're not comfortable doing that, I don't want to, like.
I'm gonna get the power to act, and then you guys can get with him
And Aaron will be
and
able to
numbers
act.
together.
Yeah.
Did you write that, Teresa?
I did not. Mm-hmm.
two cups
Mm-hmm.
tonight.
Have a motion by Pam, give mayor power to act on street engineering with MSA. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
McDonald,
Yes.
Hutton,
Yes.
Leahy,
Yes.
Linda is absent, Pearsall,
Yes.
Bradshaw,
Yes.
motion carries.
Thank you, Jason.
Anything else?
No, that's all I have. I appreciate you.
Oh, of course.
Thank you.
Do we want to do that, or you just want to give me the power to hire? I don't know exactly who I want to, I just finished my last interview about 15 minutes before I came in. So I have an idea, but, is that something we want to do tonight?
I need to discuss wage, like, where you're gonna bring that from.
Well, okay, so, summer hires, or am I hiring one or two?
Two.
You want two?
Why are we hiring two? We already have 4 maintenance people. We've never,
Did you talk to them about the hours that they could work?
Yeah, I told them that it would be, kind of set hours, weather depending, if they got everything done. I mean, there's a lot to do. I know I would keep them busy. That would open up, me, Mitch, and Tyler to work on our infrastructure in town, digging up, putting in new valves, new sewer lines that are caving in.
Do you know if they can work all the time, or are they into sports and whatnot?
Well, I had 2 high school kids, and then I had, three college kids. So basically, all 3 college kids can start Monday next week. The 2 high school kids, one could start at 3 o'clock until school starts. So it'd be like 3 in the afternoon, he gets off at 2:30, he could be here by 3, and I could work him for like an hour and a half, help weed eat here and there, just to kind of get his foot in the door. The other one, he's in track, I believe. So those would be my 2 high schoolers, and then my 3 college kids they all have the same stuff. They all know how to weed eat, they all know how to mow,
They do know how to do all that?
Yeah, they're-
Okay.
I could basically throw all 5 names in a hat and draw 2 of them.
You'd be surprised.
So I told them that I would get a hold of them Thursday afternoon to let them know that if they were hired or not, and each one of them will receive a call either way.
well, I just don't think it's necessary. I mean, you hire 2 more people, that's 6 people at a total of almost $120 an hour. That's almost $1,000 a day for just maintenance. I just think it's overkill, and I just think it's way too much money. We're not made out of money. Just my opinion.
Go ahead.
Do you still outsource the mowing for the cemetery?
No, we took that
No, you
over.
guys are doing that again?
Now, the 2 summer help children, or young adults, would they be full-time, or they're both part-time, so it's actually one person?
Part-time.
I think it would be both part-time.
Okay, so then it's one person, not really 2.
So you're gonna give them each 20 hours a week?
Give or take, yeah. Because with, I told them.
Who's gonna watch their hours?
I'll have to. It would be, I told them it's gonna be about 85 to 90% weed eating and a little bit of mowing, maybe some cleaning out gutters, painting fire hydrants, painting curbs, all the little petty stuff that needs to be done, that gets pushed aside for the bigger stuff, so.
So you're basically saying they're gonna work 2 days a week,
Well,
maybe 3.
2.5, or
um,
maybe 4 half-days, or?
yeah, I mean, I told them that they might come in and work half a days. One kid might not be able to work a day, I don't really know.
Well, they have to be flexible, because if it rains, then.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
You know,
But I mean, there is a lot of work for him to do, and it would free up at least one of my other guys to help do some stuff.
Well, like I said, I mean, I don't think we need 80 hours of kids, but that's my opinion. If you can keep them at both at 20, then
You're good.
Yeah, I think so. I'd make it work.
You want to make a motion? To hire 2 part-time?
Not to exceed 20 hours each.
Well, it's
How
gonna
much
kind of
per
a
hour?
toggle, you know what I mean?
Right,
how
right.
much per hour?
I think all summer helps at 15 an hour, correct?
minimum wage, yeah.
Minimum wage, 15 an hour.
They make more than me.
You're in the wrong business.
They should.
Thinking so. Sign me up.
You're gonna have to talk to your boss about that.
Did you say we have 4 full-time?
Ferries were good too.
I did.
Varies part-time.
We have 4 full-time?
No,
I guess Barry's part-time, I didn't.
yeah.
What date would they be done, August?
So, August 25th is when one kid goes back to school. The middle of August, the other kid said, and the middle of August. But the one kid also has a week and a half vacation with his family. in that
What
time.
about Barry?
Barry, we used last year until we couldn't mow anymore.
Yeah,
That's what I'm asking.
he helped out after all the kids were gone, still helping us out, finishing out the season, basically.
Barry also has to keep the lawnmowers and weed eaters in working order when somebody ruins them.
I wouldn't say.
Well, those kids need to learn how to do that, because in the past, the kids always, on Friday nights, they tore them apart and got them ready for Monday, so. Jack Reed, Delaney Reed, all of them did that.
I mean, you guys will definitely see stuff done this spring and summer. Last year when I started, I didn't really have the opportunity like I do now when we were flooded, so.
Yeah.
Right.
Last year was pretty bad when I started, and this year we can actually do more stuff and venture out and get more stuff done.
Well, the cemetery already looks better.
Okay.
I have a motion by Pam to hire 2 summer help for maintenance starting at $15 an hour. Give Mike power to decide which will be part-time hours. Have a second?
Seconded.
McDowell,
Yes.
Hutton,
Yes.
Lee,
Yes.
Jacobson,
Is that dumpster full already?
Pearsall,
Yes.
Bradshaw,
Yes.
Carrie.
Thank you, guys. Keep it going here, short and sweet. I reopened up Church Street, keeping an eye on it daily. It seems to be holding so far. But I've had to put rock in it in a week, so that's
Okay.
a lot better than I was thinking. So still keeping a close eye on it. It's open though, open traffic on that. Friday night, I had my aerator motor went out at the water tower. It's a pretty vital process to our water distribution system. I could not pump any water out of our wells without our aerator motor. Friday was a long night. I knew about it. First thing in the morning, I made some calls. It's all through a PLC server, everything. So I had to call the automatic systems. I thought there was an issue with that. We had a power outage the day before. It fried our motor. We're gonna try to do an insurance claim on it. That's a Susie thing. It was a long night, Friday night, trying to get that motor out of our pre-storage tank with our casings and everything. Me and Mitch got it out at, I don't know, 11 o'clock at night. Now it's a vintage motor, has over 100,000 hours on it. It doesn't run constantly, only when my pumps and stuff run, so 100,000 hours on a vintage motor it's pretty old. They don't even make them anymore. I thank gosh, Rock Island Electric Motor answered the call at 10 o'clock at night. They said that they would meet me down in Rock Island at their shop at 6 o'clock Saturday morning. So I got home about little after 11:30 Friday night. Tried going to bed, couldn't, because my mind was so worked up over the whole water situation. I had to turn around and get up at 4:45 and drive the motor to Rock Island to get it rewound and rebuilt. It was a really quick turnaround time. He called me Sunday at 10 o'clock in the morning saying it was fixed. So I drove back down to Rock Island, picked it up, came back up here, and we installed it, and we're all back online, no issues. The pumps ran for a while yesterday, to catch up. We're all caught up, back up to 100%. We did get a bill for that. As much as a quick turnaround on the motor hit to us, it was also a quick turnaround on the invoice. That cost us $3,470 for an emergency fix. It's not necessarily an emergency fix, they rebuilt the whole motor. So that motor is up for another 100,000 hours. I don't think we need to buy another one or look into buying one for a replacement, just because that lasted over 15 years, you know, and it's a brand new rebuilt motor. I don't see us. He's gonna send me a quote for a new one built. They'll have to actually build one. I told him to quote me for one, just to show you guys that what it is to basically refurbish one and then have one built. But I don't think it's a necessity that we need to have it on hand for 15 years and not ever use it. You know, these guys, I even said something to him. I was like, well, what if it goes out, you know? And he's like, well, you know, we can fix it within a day and a half. And I'm like, fair enough, but I want another 15 years, 20 years out of this motor, you know? So they couldn't guarantee that, but they had it and it is working. We installed it. The aerator's going. I was pumping water. All our chemicals are good. But yes, we did have a $3,470 bill for an overnight rush to fix that motor. So we will have to make that. We will have to pay that, which was very nice because it was if I couldn't get that fixed within a couple of days, we would have had to shut down our water system, more than likely. So that was huge. That was being able to get fixed, and lots of less sleep for me, but we got it going. So
Thank you to everybody.
Part of the insurance claim will be that automated systems write a program that this never happened again, because of how the program operated when we did have our power outage is why it fried that motor. So it's part of the insurance claim will be for them to write the program for that to never happen again.
okay, so moving on from that one, that's all fixed, ready to go, all back online. Tonight, I guess I'm going to ask for the power jack. I have a 2-day training class for my hours for the water and sewer. That is tomorrow and Wednesday. So I'll be leaving here after this meeting and driving up to DeKalb. I didn't want to drive every morning, so I did get 2 hotel stay for 2 nights, tonight and tomorrow night, to go to these classes. Teresa informed me that I should have filled out paperwork ahead of time. I wasn't aware of that. So I did sign up for this class. It's a free class, totally free class. The only expense would be my hotel rooms. My hotel rooms cost, and I did research. I didn't get the hot tub or anything like that. But I got 2 nights stay, a total of $345.11. It was $119 a night. That was the cheapest. The next cheapest was up to $135, $140. We did pay $105.13 in tax on that, and we have a tax exempt, and that's something that we can get reimbursed after we get our invoice sent to us. We'll have to call the number, and we can actually get $113 back out of that. So.
And we did discuss this with the other board, so we kind of thought that it was already approved, and it turns out that
That's not the way it works.
there wasn't a motion, so.
Because you have to, you should have printed all that out so we could all see what you were wanting to do, and then we would have decided as a board whether it was gonna benefit the village.
Right.
And how much, just let you spend and blah, blah, blah. So I mean, it's just always the way it's always
And
been.
this is for water, correct?
Yes, so tomorrow would be all day water, and then Wednesday is sewer. And you get 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5, I would get 5 hours for water, yes, for tomorrow, and I'll get 5 hours for sewer, Wednesday. And that's about a whole week's worth of hours in one day, which is pretty.
And that's about as close as they get with those classes is DeKalb. You know, because they
And that can
do,
go on the credit card, right, for the
Yeah.
hotel?
yeah, and we thought, you know, when we discussed it with the old board, that we did a motion, but apparently we did not.
I can remember too, but
So if you guys still want me to go to that class, I guess
absolutely.
you guys will have.
Every bit of training is,
Well, I wasn't saying I didn't want you to go.
No,
I was
I
saying
know,
that there's a
well,
process.
I wish I would've done
That's-
that because I probably could've got a free supper.
I'm just saying,
No, it's fine, it's
there's a
fine.
process, so.
But as long as you guys are okay with me doing that, I'm gonna skedaddle out of here. I have nothing else.
Thank
let me
you.
make the motion for it, so
Should you
we're on the legit. You have fence at the ballpark under you too.
No, it's maybe, what's that?
You have fence at the ballpark under you.
I had that under mine.
Mike, what was the cost of the hotel rooms?
$345.11.
Who's the cost of the class? Was that already?
No, there was a free class. And they're only, it was actually a cool thing, they only invited so many people to it. And, I guess I felt special.
You
You
are.
are special.
And then I had,
All 9 yards, fence at the ballpark.
Fence.
Okay, I'll touch on that quick. The fence at the ballpark, a little parking fence type thing. I got a couple different things, going the cheapest route. Actually, once I redid it, then it's all under my budget, so,
Okay, well then never mind.
yeah, that's
You're
kind of
free to
why.
go.
At first I had it, did a couple different quotes, and then I was like, well, let's just get it under my budget, we don't have to address it to the board.
To repair it, you mean?
No, just the
Put it
fence,
up.
the post and the
Oh.
mulching. So I'm trying to save us as much money as possible, but, I can't help with everything breaking either at the same time, so.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Are you taking one of the village trucks to go, or are you using your own?
I was gonna use my own vehicle.
So then he needs to be paid mileage,
Yeah.
and are you gonna allow him to have some
That's it.
food?
Well, that's the thing, that's why I told him, I said, you need to talk to us because we need to give you a food allowance and, yeah.
Well, since I didn't do it correctly this time,
No.
No.
that's fine. You pay me my mileage,
No.
but I'll
The
fend
mileage
for
and
the
per
food
diem, there's a
myself.
set amount, we can reimburse
You
you.
can make that motion. You make it easy.
Right, like,
Per diem, brown bag.
Receipts.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
I have a motion,
Well,
Mike,
hold on, do you guys want me to use my debit card on that, or am I using the credit card on that? To keep expenses? How would you guys like to do
I would
that?
use the credit card.
Just use a credit card?
Mhm.
Okay, that's fine.
But we can't, it's not unlimited, is it?
There's a set per diem, and I'll look that up
Okay,
for you.
no, that's fine. That's all I have, and I appreciate
Unless
it.
the per diem, you wanna come back and get, no, just do
It
that.
doesn't
I'll
matter.
give you the amount.
Either way, we need the receipts.
Yeah,
Mike, back when I worked out of town all the time, they paid for the rooms and our per diem was, depending on which company I had worked for, was about $100 a day.
Oh, and he's not so generous.
We're not made out of money.
We do, we have a policy,
It's all
so,
set by policy.
yeah,
no, that's fine.
and I'll let you know tonight.
I will be gone the next 2 days at this. I have a list of stuff for the guys to do, so if you guys see them, then they're not doing anything.
and Mitch has
I mean, and Mitch has the phone. Mitch has the phone tonight. I don't know if they're gonna swap and give it to Tyler tomorrow, or Mitch is just gonna keep it. I'm not for sure. That's between them. Somebody will have it. Yeah, they got a list of stuff to do, so they should, I told them that you guys will be looking after them, so.
We always are.
So, they should stay busy all day tomorrow. Barry will have a half a day. He works at Harry's tomorrow on Tuesdays, so he'll have a half a day, and Mitch and Tyler will have full days. There'll be a lot of mowing and weed eating and rounds and some work orders and stuff, so. They definitely got a list. I made a hell of a list for them, and there's no way they'll get it done by the time I get back, so. But that's all I have. Does anyone have any questions?
I have one comment for you, Mike.
Yeah.
When you do a motor rebuild or reline, if you have them use the high temperature wire varnish, you can capitalize that in the state of Illinois. So it's upgraded for a variable frequency drive,
Okay.
so you can actually capitalize part of that money.
Oh, interesting. Awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Anything else?
No, that is all.
I have a motion to give Mike use of credit card for training in DeKalb hotel room in the amount of $345.11 plus daily per diem, and permission to attend the 2-day training. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
McDonald,
Yes.
Hutton,
Yes.
Leahy,
Yes.
Mendoza, absent, Pearsall,
Yes.
Bradshaw.
Yes.
Does anyone have any questions for me before I get out of here?
Be careful. Don't speed. We don't pay tickets.
All right, thank you guys very much. Have a good night.
This guy here can get you out of it.
Mine will be much shorter than that. So we need to take action to remove Floyd Boston, Joyce Tegler, and Jerry Anglesey from the signatures on our accounts at the bank. And we need to add Jack Seifert, Aaron Mendoza, and Rob Bradshaw.
Did they give you a resolution?
I'm sorry?
Did the bank give you a resolution for that?
I don't know that we need a resolution. When I asked the bank, they said they need a motion and minutes that show we specifically called out those people to remove and called out those people to add.
Well, who decided who we were adding?
Jack. So Jessica, what additional will be needed if we need to
You
do
guys
it?
need a resolution. Here.
When the bank gives it to you, just take it out of the next meeting and pass it. You don't have it, so you can't
Okay.
pass the resolution without
Okay.
in front of you.
I'll stay for
So you-
next time.
Okay. You want to add? Right. So you can just do the same motion. Right. That's all.
Okay, until next time.
No, no, you can do
Oh, I
it
can
now.
do it.
Yeah, we
Okay.
can do it now. Then we'll just-
You can see, somebody has to make a motion to remove and then
She's
add.
got that.
Aaron and Rob. We're adding Aaron and Rob.
Yeah.
Nancy for.
I believe so.
I have a motion by Pam to remove Floyd Boston, Joyce Tegler, Jerry Engelson as clerk, signers, and add Jack Seifert, Aaron Mendoza, and Rob Bradshaw. Do I have a second?
Second.
Tim?
McDonald,
Yes. I did.
Hutton,
Yes.
Lady,
Yes.
those are absent, Pearsall,
Yes.
Gresham.
Yes.
Motion approved.
The second thing that I have on my list is, I know you guys talked about it before, as the past board, they have dedicated office hours. I'd like to do that like on a temporary basis, maybe like on Fridays where I'm here, but I'm closed to the public. I say that because we're getting ready to upgrade our system this month. I'm still in my fiscal year audit for fiscal year '24. My new fiscal year started May 1st, so Thursday of last week. And, you know, that entails a lot of switching everything out. I know, it just keeps getting worse. And so I like those dedicated office hours just on a temporary basis so that we can get caught up. I know you guys discussed it before as a board, and then I'm not sure what happened, it just kind of fell. We never did really do anything with it. But I think there'd be a big benefit. We'd still do the daily deposits. People can still, you know, use the drop box out front or contact maintenance if there's an emergency. What do you guys think?
I think it's fine by me, as long as it's temporary.
Okay. Want to make a motion?
Do you want Fridays or?
I just picked that day. It doesn't have to be Friday. I just know there's less traffic generally on Fridays for whatever reason.
Is anybody writing it?
I haven't started. Well, is that to upgrade the Locust so that they can pay by a credit card or debit card?
So we have to move to LoCaSave first, and then the second part of that would be getting the third-party payment processor. So that's still a little ways down the line, but that'll be a seamless, hopefully, transition once we get to LoCaSave.
I don't know. You thinking like a couple, 3 months?
Oh,
maybe?
probably not even that long,
Okay.
couple months. That'd be great. You know, once we move to this third-party payment processing and people can pay online, that's gonna slow a lot of the foot traffic.
You won't have near as much going on, you won't have near as much going on.
Right. Well,
Well, I mean with that.
on the payment side,
With that,
right,
with that.
right.
I have a motion by Hutton to close village office on Fridays until we are caught up on things, couple months, question mark. I have a second.
Okay.
I'll second.
McDonald,
Yes.
Hutton,
Yes.
Lady,
Yes.
and those are absent, Pearsall,
Yes.
Gresham.
Yes.
Thank you.
Starting that. When are you gonna start that?
We can start it this week, we can start it next week.
It's up to you.
I should have wrote starting. Just May 9th, I guess, this Friday.
Let's say, yeah, okay.
I don't know if you wanna add that to it.
He said you don't have to.
You don't have
Okay.
Next is you. Your resignation.
to. Don't have
Mhm.
to. Oh, okay.
They took the resignation, so.
Okay.
I have a motion by Pearsall, accept resignation from Jerry Ingles in all the positions with the village of Albany. Do I have a second?
Second.
Who said second? McDonald,
Yes.
Hutton,
Yes.
Leahy,
Yes.
Mendoza absent, Pearsall,
Yes.
Bradshaw,
Yes.
motion carries.
I have another one from Pam to accept resignation from Deanne Inglesey from clerk position and office help. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
McDonald,
Yes.
Hutton,
Yes.
Leahy,
Yes.
Mendoza absent, Pearsall,
Yes.
Bradshaw,
Yes.
motion carries.
So next week, we looked into cameras for the different buildings. We'll probably table it till we get more information from other companies, because it's pretty pricey. But I think we definitely need to get cameras at the park. It's been vandalized again.
I agree.
What's happening there?
They took the rolls, all the rolls of toilet paper off and stuck them in the toilet. And it sounds like they've been urinating and wiping stuff all over.
Broke the soap dispenser, brand new, that they just put up.
Last week, they broke the lady sign.
And they've only been open for 3 weeks, or?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Don't get locked in at night?
Mhm.
Don't get locked in at night?
They don't lock them at night. And maybe that's something
Like after a certain time at night or something?
something.
We could get them,
A timer.
they make those, yeah.
Something we could look into. I think it's definitely something worth looking into. So Jack, then you're bringing through the chairs?
I'm gonna table that until next meeting.
What are we tabling?
The committee chairs.
Did you have the thing? Did you have the thing from
Right.
the spray? So for Frank's Flying Service, it'd be $1,416 a spray. That's doing it with all the other towns.
Is that 3 or 4 times?
I think that's, however, that's per time. It's $460 per time, and they do it on holidays, and I think it just depends on if we. say
How much is it per time?
$1,416.
So did we used to do it 3 and sometimes 4 times a year, right?
I thought it was always 4.
What did we look at? Did we look that up, Susie?
I don't think I looked that up. I remember we extended it one
Yeah,
spray
and it was
last
in
year.
May, June, July, and August. And then one time we might have done it in,
And then we did one more in the fall.
because of the flood.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because there was a lot of standing
Yeah.
there.
So I think we had 5 last year.
Okay. Any thoughts?
Well, I'd say we approve 4, and then if we need it, we'll revisit it.
You guys want to write it up?
Do I have to put the amount?
Should, yes.
Okay. 1,416 times 4.
1,416
For application.
times 4. 5,664.
I'm in the wrong line of work.
5,000 was.
664.
Airplane code.
Not to exceed 6,000, just that just be easier.
Good luck reading that. That's why I won't.
I'd like you to approve Frank Flying to spray Albany 4 times.
Not to exceed.
Not to exceed
Not to exceed.
$6,000. Have a
We
second?
have Teresa to thank for that.
Yes.
second.
McDonald,
Yes.
Hutton,
Yes.
Lady,
Yes.
Mendoza absent, Ham,
Yes.
Pearsall, Bradshaw.
Yes.
When is the first ball game? We want to make sure we get it done before that.
Usually he'll do it around, in the end of May.
When is your first,
Day.
when is the first ball game?
I'm not sure, I'll have to look that up.
Okay. Because I don't want
I
to
have the
strain March
schedule.
20, but
They spray when we're on the field all the time, Carrie,
I know.
and I'm still here. I don't know if that's good or
Well,
bad.
okay.
What percentage of you are still here?
Huh?
What percentage of you?
Well, I said, I don't know if that's good or bad, but I'm still here. So. It won't kill you, or they wouldn't do it.
or they,
Everybody's pets are still outside.
We had discussed it several times about landscaping out front. I've done some checking on the pricing, and it'll probably cost us about $800 if we want to continue and do it. That would be putting pot flowers out there, not pot flowers, I did that right. Flower pots.
very popular.
We're a new business. It'd be river rock instead of the mulch.
That's been approved more than once.
It has been. We approved it last year
And
even.
tearing out the bushes, you mean,
Yep.
like,
All
The
of it,
rose bush, I
they
think,
approved.
would be good to stay, but the
Yeah.
other things need to go. All they are, is-
well, they don't even look like they're coming back.
they really don't.
That's good.
I think all the weeds choked them off. Which one, are you keeping the rose bush?
The
I
rose
just
bush
say
are
get
the
rid of it
closest
all.
to the benches.
Yeah,
Get
I
rid
get
of
rid of all of it.
Gross.
Would you?
Well, then it's offside. If you have just one.
No, there's two.
One on either
Here.
side.
On each side.
Okay. Are they salvageable?
Yeah, they
Oh,
come
yeah.
out really nice, they just
Yeah.
be trimmed back.
What's that big thing on the end?
Some kind of tree.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what kind it is.
I don't know what it,
Breathe, Gary.
I don't know.
Well, most kids can't tell the difference between a weed and a flower anyway, so we need to hurry up and get that done, or they pull out anything we want to keep.
So you're saying we have to approve it again? Is that what you're
I
saying?
don't know if we ever approved before.
We have.
Remember?
But I don't remember the amount. So you probably have to do it again, if you don't remember the amount.
And where it was, somebody, you know,
Fix that.
That make these guys get to do it.
Have a motion by Pam for landscape in front of the village hall.
Thank you.
Not to exceed $800.
It's that one again.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
McDonald,
Yes.
Hutton,
Yes.
Lady,
Yep.
Mendoza absent, Pearsall,
Yes.
Bradshaw.
Yes.
Motion
Okay,
carried.
if we go back and look at all the other times we can accumulate the money. This one is for you.
Yes.
I think I did that, yeah.
We did approve them, but what did we have to do to get rid of them? Or was there anything we
Some
could
of
do?
the wait,
Wait.
You want to get rid of it?
We're discussing different things. Is there, did you talk about an insurance plan or something that
No, I
you
just
can
had
get in
a
on?
waiver that you had no there's no responsibility on the village part, if somebody volunteers.
With,
I don't-
if they sign a waiver?
If they sign a waiver, then they can't sue you for anything.
Yeah, we need to keep that.
Yeah, we did that, and I prepared it, and I can send it down to the office tomorrow. I don't think I have it with me.
Can you send it so we can go over it? And what else?
Sure.
Does it,
Sure.
what kind of volunteering? You're walking down the street, you
It's
find
for every-
garbage, you pick it up?
Oh, no,
That's
this is something
volunteer.
what you're specifically asking somebody to volunteer to do the landscaping or something like that. If somebody's just doing it on their own, there's no liability, you can tell them to get off, to stop.
If they're just doing it, it's okay, but if we're asking them or whatever to do it, then,
Then,
okay.
like the windmill, they don't sign a waiver, for what they do as volunteers.
Okay.
We just need one waiver, correct? We don't have to have a waiver for each individual thing they're doing.
Just each visual person, just one per person.
Right. And is it like annually?
Oh,
Forever? Put that in
You
there.
can do it annually, but.
I think you put that in there, it was like, you put
Maybe
in like
timeframe.
May
I'll
till,
send it so you guys can look at it.
September or something.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I have a question on that. So like last year, I went to the park when we had all the thistles that were really bad. Do I need to come and sign a waiver to pick those out of the park so the kids aren't stepping on them?
I would say that's
Or how
no,
is
because
that?
you're just doing it because you want to do it.
Okay, just wanted to make sure.
Unless they tell you not.
Okay.
We're not gonna tell you not to.
But we're not asking.
But they're not
Right, yes. This is when we, the committee meetings on the third Wednesdays, instead of having regular meetings.
Say that
Remember when we switched that back?
Uh-huh.
We've been talking about going back to just committee meetings, because it seems like nothing ever gets discussed. It's
Well,
just,
we weren't talking about that, because I didn't know it.
Well, me
So,
and Jack were,
We have in our, so you have in your ordinance, it says when your meetings will be, so the regular meetings, you just need to do by an ordinance, but committee meetings, you can just set by motion or.
well, I think,
By the group of the board.
I think we changed it to 2 meetings a month.
Right. You did.
correct.
But it just seems like nothing ever gets discussed. It's, you're here and here's the motion, we want to buy this, and, oh, okay.
Well, but I just feel like that if we go back to committee meetings, I don't know where that's, how does that benefit anything? We need to be able to take action if it's necessary.
I think that's the reason we did it. is because
Yeah,
It is, but I think we
continuing
need to
meetings are just-
discuss stuff instead of just bringing it in and saying, here it is, and let's do it.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
just part of the board.
what about the spraying of weeds, that skipped, number 5?
And say, this is Jack's stuff, so
Probably did it.
I know.
It's just twice.
Oh, I guess it didn't.
our hands.
Did they do it, Jack? Did you get
No.
hold of anybody?
Rob, do you have any information?
We called and asked for a couple estimates, and I told them before they do anything, they have to come talk to Jack in the village before they come in, do any kind of an estimate. They had to come talk to you, and they said they'd be here sometime this week, actually, if they didn't show up today.
Okay.
What are we getting
Who
an
is-
estimate on?
Somebody to spray our weeds because we don't have anybody that can do it.
Because we don't have a
You have
license.
to have a license to do it.
Doesn't cost us nothing for an estimate, just to find out what it is.
And I think Mike actually was signed up for a class to do it, but one of his kids was sick and then he couldn't go.
Yeah.
But the intention is still to get him to do it.
So this is just a Band-Aid till he gets that
Yes.
certification?
We had 3 names, the third one never did call back, so we just went with 2 of them.
Resignation.
I think we're gonna discuss it in
Oh.
closed off first and. And then I'm gonna guess Jesse don't have anything. Police?
We did the sign up on Saturday, we got another 25, so we ended up with a total of 55. I think we actually ended up at 58 total. So we gotta start on them. I think at some point we need to charge people that aren't getting theirs on time. I think,
Late fee.
yep,
How many did we have last year, do you know?
I don't know for sure.
You think it was quite a bit more, or?
If I had to guess, I'd say maybe another 25,
I would say it was more.
so. But like I said, and several people would pull up and they'd have a 22 sticker on them. And yeah, I'd call them out on it. Oh, it looks like you didn't get one. So, I mean, it's not fair that I have to buy my sticker, but Monica doesn't. So, you're welcome. But I'm just saying, you know, you get some that pull up and they haven't had a sticker since 22 or 23, and it's like,
There's a late fee if you go get your car license.
yeah.
There's a
So-
late fee if you go get your car license.
Right. So I just feel like there needs to be something done about that to make
Agreed.
people accountable for, you know, this is a benefit that we're giving to people. We don't have to let people ride. Not that I want to take it away, because I'm one of them that enjoys it, but I'm just saying, the rules need to be followed by
And
everyone.
we're the cheapest around.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we are, like Fulton is $100
Yep.
for your golf cart side by side, whatever they call them
Yep.
up there. It's like $100 for the, if you get one in Fulton. And then, you know, it's just all over the place, because like if you get one in Iowa, it's good for the state.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Wisconsin too.
Illinois will never do that.
No.
yeah.
But anyway, like I said, we had a fairly good turnout, but there's definitely more people that need to get stickers.
Yeah, we saw them driving by.
That's all I
still
got.
see carts without the, I know they want stickers because they don't have all the stuff that they need to begin with, so.
Are you going to close session on the next one or not?
In a little bit. Carrie,
What?
did you have anything?
No.
My-
Oh, well, you want me to bring up what you told me?
For what?
Or you want to talk to him
For what?
about the person that,
Oh, yeah, I'll talk to him.
okay. We have something to talk to you about on a billing situation.
Okay.
I just have hiring Caesar Crane Service to put in courtesy docks.
How much does that cost?
So $210 an hour.
And did we get estimates from anyone else?
No.
Or are we just,
Well, the other one that we use does not have an OSHA approved inspection. So Jerry had brought up that, to Mike about, that's not a good idea. So Caesar's is the next closest one, and they charge by, I mean, when you start, and they're $210. And if it's done, they need to have everything ready for them to get in, what they need, and be done.
And they have a certificate of liability
Oh,
they'll
yeah,
give us.
they have it all.
They'll give us, okay. Did we have that from the other one? I don't even know what they were called.
I don't know if we did or not.
I don't know what they're called. You don't look.
The last one was Doug over in Erie. And he had the old crane from Jack, what was his last name? I don't remember.
That crane's older than the hills.
Definitely. So after talking with Mike, I would say it would be less than, I can't imagine it'd take over a few hours to get what they have to put in. But then we pay them for drive time too, so I would say less than 1,000 to get them in. Not to exceed that.
do you know what we paid last year?
I don't know.
Last year it was done with a tree. I think Stubbs came down to do a tree too.
Yeah, they combined it, that's
And I
fine.
think together it was 1,500, so I'm not sure what was what. I need information, so I don't have any more.
I can go along.
Plain motion.
I don't know if he actually has if it's another name, do you know if it is?
Is that
Stubbs.
saw tree? Is that?
Oh, that could be it, yeah.
we have to wait for the water to come down 12 foot before we can go in, correct?
Around between 12 and 13, should be okay.
What's it have now? What's it have now?
It's on its way down and by the beginning, I think, of next week, it should be right around 12.
And what are we doing with the big tree?
Good question. Somehow.
Can we ninja that into the river?
No, we can't.
And now it's somebody else's
Because
problem downstream? I didn't think that was
It
legal.
wouldn't take much to cut it up, and I'm pretty sure we have a chainsaw.
Yes, we do. We just bought one not long ago.
So,
That's a big chainsaw then, that's a big tree.
well, like I said, it's an eyesore.
Yeah, that's why I said ninja.
Good job for Mike.
Started on fire and then the bonfire's going.
Yeah, oh, wait a minute, it got the tree on fire.
All right, now it says 13.6 on the way down. And
What?
I'm reading there, it says 13.6 and on the way down.
Okay.
Yeah,
Mr. Berber come in.
it already crossed and.
Yeah, I look at the yellow painting on the dock.
Yeah.
And it's below that now, below the yellow.
Yeah, it's still. It was at 14.4, now it's down to 13.6.
Yeah, you definitely.
On the way
It's going down.
I have a motion by Pam to approve Caesar's Crane Service to put in courtesy docks not to exceed $1,000. Do I have a second?
We gotta wait for Jesse.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, no, they went to the office.
I think she was getting a copy of it.
Okay. While we're waiting, I thought of something, and I know Angie knows how to do it. We've got some properties, someone has moved out of the home and it's bank owned now, or mortgage lender owned. The grass is really high in the fenced in area, also apparently full of dog. So whoever mows it, you're gonna have to be scraping mower tires for a while. So I don't know, at first I didn't think we could do it because it's not privately owned.
They sent it to the,
You can do it, you can put a lien against the property, but it's in violation of the ordinance, but the police have to first serve a notice. There's a procedure to do it, and you can mow it and charge it for it.
We'll just tap that onto all the other ones though.
Yeah, doesn't mean you're gonna get paid, but
Yeah.
it's lien against the land.
Okay. Because a lot of times mortgage companies
They hire somebody.
hire somebody to do it, but
Yeah, they usually hire somebody to do it.
they're supposed to, but I don't think that'll happen with this.
Sometimes you find out who the property manager is.
We have yet to
Yeah.
find out.
Isn't it posted on the front door?
it's, I don't know about
Should
that,
it
but
be
it's,
posted on the front door?
if you get into GIS, you can, it
Right.
says who has it. And they're not close to around here.
No, I'm sure not.
They're very
That's what I was just gonna say, what are we doing?
I know Susie was looking for the bill.
Copy. Hold on a minute.
No luck. Susie, no luck.
Well, no, so they didn't break it down by boat dock and trees, so it was 2,800 for the trees and it was 3,450 to trees and stump. There's no crane,
It doesn't matter, we have to have it, so.
Yeah,
there's no crane breakdown.
Let's just move forward.
okay, well, thanks for looking.
You're good.
I have a motion from Pam to approve Caesar's Crane to put in county courtesy docks not to exceed $1,000. Do I have a second?
Second.
Brock, did you say that? Okay, sorry. McDonald,
Yes.
Hutton,
Yes.
Lady,
Yes.
Mendoza absent, Pearsall,
Yes.
Bradshaw.
Yes.
Motion carries.
And Jason has said he would volunteer to paint the concrete down at the park where the eagle is. I just wanted to see everybody's thought on it.
Well, that's fine, whatever. I was gonna say we just seal the concrete and forget it, because that way we don't have to worry about it peeling and having to be redone and,
Is that paint?
That's specially designed for masonry. From
Is it-
Sherwin-Williams.
is it a color?
You can get colors, yeah.
Can you just make it gray? Like, so it just,
Yeah,
that way we
Light
can't
gray
tell when
or
it's
dark
peeling
gray?
off or?
any neutral color like that. In fact, if you wanna show the color deck to everybody sometime, do it.
Well, like I said, I just think if we could eliminate the maintenance on it,
It's more of a,
all the
it's
better.
more of how do I say it? It's more of a stain type product versus a paint, so it seals and penetrates, and it's designed for that. It's a top of the line Sherwin-Williams product.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, yeah, like I said,
Will we be buying the paint, stain, sealer, whatever it is?
Say again?
So we're gonna buy the paint or the sealer or
Are
whatever?
you donating the sealer or?
I'll donate it, it's not much at all, it's not expensive.
Okay,
It only takes a couple of gallons.
okay.
Thank you.
can I see it before you do it, please?
The color?
Mhm.
Yeah, I'll have Pam bring in the color deck into the bank or something, or here sometime.
That's
Are
fine.
you working this week?
Something neutral, earthy.
Yeah, just, like I said, I just don't wanna have to do, in 3 years, I don't wanna talk about it.
No, it won't.
Charcoal gray.
Yeah, there's 5,000 colors in that Sherwin-Williams color deck, so piece of cake.
Does anybody have anything on ordinances besides you brought up ordinance stuff, anything else?
No. What did I say about the ordinance?
Oh, just the grass,
Oh, okay.
the weeds in the grass. Everybody wants to do ordinance?
What are we doing?
Old, any old business? New business?
New business? Visitors? Anybody sign in? Jason,
He's in the.
Oh, I spoke to Pam about power washing the restrooms at the park and marina again. So if everybody's okay with that, we'll do that again.
Sign a waiver.
That,
You already done it once?
last year.
Oh, okay.
Remember when I talked to Jerry and I come in, you were in the office? I think you're the one that filled the waiver out, if I remember correctly.
I am, actually.
So if everybody's okay with that, we can do that within the next week or two. Probably not this week, because I'm busy as hell this week, but by the end of May, mid-May.
Thank you.
You guys all right with it? Yeah, thank you. Okay.
Jason?
That's all I had.
Other Jason?
That's probably,
Yeah.
Well, that's you.
oh, thank
You already done it?
you. I don't think one of you from anymore, do you?
No, you're expensive. Yeah, every time you talk, it costs us money. So we will,
Visitors have anything to say? Oh, just did.
if you did.
Yes,
Can I
I
do
do.
a closed session?
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead, sir.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, we're opening up the Albany Grade School Time Capsule
on May 17th, which is Saturday at 1 o'clock at the park. We've got special people coming, and I'm working on getting refreshments, and anybody that had anything to do with Albany grade school, whether it was a student, parent, grandparent, anybody's invited. And if it's bad weather, Pastor Tony has graciously offered the church. So keep your fingers crossed.
Do you want any memorabilia or anything from me?
Yeah, if anybody has anything, I'm going through our girls' boxes.
Did Pastor Tony offer coffee and donuts too?
I don't have to time that according to the weather, Jason, but.
Did you get your book thing up yet? The little book thing we were gonna put in there for people? We had, somebody that donated.
The little library.
Library we're gonna put up at the church.
Oh, I haven't heard anything more from him. The guy that was gonna make it contacted me and I said, you know, and he hadn't built it yet and I haven't heard anything back from him. So, I don't know, and I didn't follow up on it because he was volunteering. He volunteered it, the way I understood it, he volunteered it to the village. Didn't want it on village property, and usually they never are on village property, in my experience. So I said he could have it there, but I've never heard that from him.
Okay.
Yes, I have. So, when you guys exonerated Jerry Anglesey from doing any functions, there's one function on there that, you know, he manages the floods. He was the person that was managing the floods when we had floods. So that's not a committee chair or anything like that, that was something Jerry was doing. So that's, you know, the arrow's pointing right at you, Jack, the way these are lined up.
You know, I
so.
read it tonight, and in our book, it says zoning. The zoning officer is the one that does most of the floodplain.
Jerry did all of it. He said
You
pumps up
did
and all
separate
that
it
stuff.
quite often.
Yeah, I thought we always did, and then tonight when I read that, it kind of surprised me that
Yeah, well, that's the default, unless you find somebody that knows flood and wants to do it.
Well, and since
there's
he's
a-
not here.
There's an EPA, you know, there's something with the EPA that you might want to talk to Jerry about. Thank you.
Thank you.
So we have to hire somebody to be floodplain manager and send it to that school?
we can, I mean, we can,
For a point.
yeah.
Well, the one guy, Mark Franz's husband, we sent to a class or something.
Because he tried to get me to do it. That's the only reason I know.
Have a motion by Pam to go into closed session at 7:32 for employment of employees.
Are you gonna take action?
Yes.
Okay.
Are you gonna remember to let us in afterwards?
Do I have a second?
Oh, sorry.
McDonald,
Yes.
Hutton,
Yes.
Leahy,
Yes.
Mendoza, absent, Pearsall,
Yes.
Bradshaw.
Do we have to make a motion for the cost of the rekeying? I mean, it's done, but do we have to make a motion to pay for that?
We have the offices on the team. To locksmith come in and rekey the office.
Oh, yeah, you should have a motion, you don't have it on here,
No.
so,
We put it on the
not
next
bad,
one.
yeah. I mean, it's probably within public works, they're minimum, but, yeah, we'll put it on the next agenda, we'll do it. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't put it on. Oh,
You got my email address now.
You're here like-
I emailed you. Yep, it's right there. We had commissioners. All right.
I'll go and figure out something. Take care.
I didn't try to put it out of the door.
All right.
I got some.
So,
they videotaped
that I really had.
both groups
She's got
videotaped the
like,
meeting, that's probably one way.
but that
We
has
can't put a
like all the law
notification on
forms, all the resolutions.
We can't do
It's not just the call for.
We will have to try to find.
Yeah.
Because I have no idea where any of those are.
Oh, so the minutes are out here.
You'll be fine if you just hold it together. Are you working tonight?
Is this the rescue jumping on? Or someplace. Something steady. I don't know what they're talking about.
Bruce going into closed session.
Yeah.
Take too long.